Interesting. There are sharp objects. So, what? Are those the bugs? Okay, at first I thought they were like hands. Like mummified hands or something. Okay, Shambler's over there, so we're not gonna go see it yet.
The public entrance to the gallery.
Uh-huh. Gonna keep our eyes low whenever we're in the main area. Just more. Okay.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
That is the question. I've. That's an interesting, yeah. There's two of them. Quite strange. It's a
The
lion.
man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing he was of sound mind. The piece de resistance is over there, and we will be avoiding looking in its direction for the time being. It's a bear. Looks like... I wonder if it's blood or not. A bear defeating... Is this a seal? Looks like? Yeah. It's a bear killing a seal. It's a very nice statue. Kind of a introspective. Kind of like the... Because you got the bones and like the tendons and such in the front. Not as much on the back. Because it's not fully skeletal. It is largely. This one... So the guy choking out some type of bird. I'm not great at aviary things. But yeah, bleeding eyes though. Let's see, is that... Okay, so it does have paws. I'm not sure what the head of that is supposed to be. It's clearly not quite a lion. Interesting, it's a smaller version of that statue. It looks like waves crashing. Blood in the water. It's a picture of calamity. Not this one. What is this? Looks like just a lion. Like a cobweb? Or like a cocoon, sort of? Like kind of breaking out of a constraint. Yeah, kind of like a breaking out of cocoon. Got a... Looks like devil, maybe? With its eyes up. Looking towards heaven. I'm sure that's a character we've interacted with, but I'm terrible. Uh, Same as that one over there. A kid. Looks like a toddler, almost. Somewhere in like the 2 to 4 range, maybe? Choking out a small bird. Uh, There's a bear and a seal. Okay. It's interesting that a lot of these sculptures are kind of full size, and then there's a smaller one somewhere else in the gallery. Nothing like a little couple of portraits.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
Okay, well. Are those faces? They're, yeah, it's mouths with. Each of the mouths are wide agape. But I can't tell if they're screaming or they look more like they're crying out versus in any way of menacing. This one's a lot more abstract. Not as strong on figuring out what that one's supposed to be on. Saul's conversion. X9. Okay. I have to say I'm not really seeing it. Because Saul, who becomes Paul, he is blinded, scales over his eyes, and then he gets led, and then eventually gets washed away. But I'm not really seeing like a blinding light, or I'm not seeing where that's coming from. Yeah, just unless it's meant to be like the scale with the right center? Not really. Okay, what's this one? Return of the Ark to Beth Shemesh. Samuel 6. I'm not as familiar with this story, I will admit. I believe it's when they when the Ark was in a temple of Baal or Baal, and I think that was when they the giant idol kept ending up like face down in front of the Ark, and then finally the Israelites are told, "Hey, take your Ark and get it out of here." And I believe that's what this one is. But the Ark's always been kind of a scarier thing. This one, nothing. Ascension or Rapture. It's kind of what this looks like. Kind of being taken up and out. His arms are folded, kind of. It's like across the chest. Because you can kind of see with how I don't have crosshairs or anything to show. Like if you look at the bodies, you can kind of see the sharp edges by their sides, just above where their waist is at. You can see that sharp edging, and so their arms have to be crossed because they're not folded. Their arms would need to be crossed because you can kind of see it on the shoulders. So it looks like they're being kind of pulled up. And I say up versus going down just because of the way that their head is tilted. Heads are tilted off to the side, and generally when raising up, it's that force that causes your head to bend sideways, versus if they've been going down, it's more likely that their head would have had a more forward or back tilt. If anything, or just straight up. But by heads being tilted off to the side, it's more of a ascension. This one, what is it? Daniel in the Lion's Den. Daniel 6. Okay, I can kind of see it. Still largely abstract, but you can kind of see the hands kind of folded. We got one hand here, another up, and just kind of protected. It's the lions to either side of him. Yeah, I can kind of see. So this is right. We talked about that one. Sorry, this is. I'm definitely not just delaying the inevitable. Ooh. I do genuinely enjoy art. Haven't don't I'm not an art historian by any stretch of the imagination, but I do have a strong appreciation of it. I like going to art galleries and just kind of seeing what's been created, kind of get into the mind of the person that made it, or like how it's supposed to come out. I enjoy doing that. This one, so it's two people clearly in agony. Looks like potentially not necessarily human, but they're definitely humanoid. Faces pointed more up. It's gonna be more along the lines of so they're in pain. Their hands, at least, so the one on the left, I think both of them, they've got kind of enlarged hands, but they're kind of curled on either side, so kind of like a more claw versus palm. They're clearly in pain or being yeah, in pain, tortured, just kind of, but their mouths aren't open, so it's more of like a sadness, I guess, like because you can see kind of the facial expressions. There's not a ton of emotion shown, but just kind of seeing how the one on the left, because you can't quite see the one on the right, but it's kind of as a grimace. Now, whether that's just because there's no lips or if it's truly the mouth that's been drawn out, but it's really cool. It's kind of that like a searing pain, where it's like you're kind of gritting your teeth and trying to get through it, versus just an outright break past the walls of pain. Let's see, what else do we have? Another statue in ancient script that I can't read. And this one, it's a lot. Let's see. What can we kind of distill from this? So it's definitely, I mean, theme is greens, kind of that poison, that hallucinogenic gas. This is common in the game that we've seen. Everything's got slight green tints to it. Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I got sidetracked, but it's an interesting. So it looks like it was added afterwards. It doesn't look like it's part of the original. The metallic part, just because it's completely different than the rest of it, and it doesn't, like, I don't know. It's kind of like a mask, but it looks like there was something on the face previously, and then the current kind of metal face was added later. Anyways, back to this painting. So, looks, with the context previous for the one that was out in the hall, that was kind of like that rapture ascension. This one's similar. You see kind of the different boxes kind of floating around. Potentially coffins. I will say, you can kind of see, it, to me, on the far left pillar that's sticking out, it looks like it is, um, like there's a sword or something. And it's interesting because there's the yellow backlight. So I don't know if that's supposed to be like a light that's shining out and kind of clearing, or if it's just a light source. Because the bottom right, I think that's more just so you can see the signature. Um, like it's still got some light to it, um, but it doesn't look like it. It looks more out of place than anything. I will say at the very bottom, the longer I look at it, kind of in that center area, it looks kind of like a face in the middle. You can kind of see the nose, the eyes, and then the two splotches to either side is kind of like the hands, like it's someone's trying to like hold on to something, or yeah, there's like it's trying to hang in. But yeah, it's got the green. Let's see, any? Did I already look at this one? I don't think I did. It's got a lot of eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I'm counting 7 eyes, 1 mouth. The wisps, I can't quite tell if it's more like wisps or if they're more cephalopodic. Because the eyes definitely look kind of like that of like an octopus or a squid, and then the mouth is definitely more like not canine. It's predatory, maybe lion, because that's a lot of what the other imagery has lent itself towards. Um, that like lion or bear. Because I want to say canine, but that doesn't quite feel right. Um, yeah, it's kind of an inability to escape. There's so many eyes watching. Um, the ability for the eyes to move around in potentially unexpected ways. Um, but with only one means of actual grasp or attack. Let's see what I've got over here. Okay. I'm seeing kind of two faces kind of pointed towards each other. Almost looks like they're grimacing towards each other, just kind of face kind of slightly downturned, and kind of like they're about to butt heads. I will say occasionally, on the white in the middle towards the left-hand side, at the bottom, occasionally kind of looks like a face, and then it goes away in my mental imagery and imagination. But it kind of occasionally looks like there's a face kind of peering through, kind of where that kind of white green dot is. Not the top one on the like mid left, but more towards the center. It looks like there's kind of like the start of something kind of looking through. Might just be because of the oblong around it, so it kind of looks like an eye shape to me. But it just kind of two faces kind of in preparation. Obviously, neither of them are happy, as is the theme of the artist, uh, Sarah Hawkins. But I'm not seeing a signature. Normally she's in the bottom right. And if it's not one of hers, it's normally on the plaque at the bottom. No, I'm seeing neither. Okay. Any other paintings? I think we've looked at them all. Haven't looked at this one. We've looked at the 4 over here and the one up there. Okay. So what's this one? Okay. So this one, kind of like, okay, get a good kind of centered look at it. So it looks like, in the dead center, kind of in the background, it looks almost like someone in a cloak with their arms outstretched, kind of like welcoming in. Or like kind of the like go and do, and kind of outstretched, pointing a little bit. And it looks like we've got numerous faces in the foreground. On the left side, it looks like a mouth kind of agape, like a cry of pain. And it looks like there's 2 more heads, each right above, kind of on the left-hand side. The right-hand side looks like a, let's see, kind of a more feminine form, maybe? Kind of facing, going away. Away, it's however the camera's seeing. Like, kind of going towards the right, with the face kind of turned, so it's going towards the right. Like we're here looking at it, and so it's facing towards the right and kind of like looking back and away. It's like kind of looks like the back of head of something, while it's kind of turned to go towards where the cloaked figure in the background is kind of pointing towards, kind of like looking over to see as they're getting ready to shift and turn, or like looking back. Okay, I think those are all of the pictures.